Okay, so now we're live, and here we have the first Midwest bank robbery that occurred February 6th. It just got released yesterday. It's taken about 3 months. So, without further ado, I'm gonna mute my microphone real quick. Okay, so we see him standing here, and one of the comments I've seen was somebody said if they had to stand there as long as he stood there, they'd be ready to rob a bank too. But I think that was, you know, on actually the police website or the police Facebook page. So he's just waiting, waiting, waiting. It was cold outside that day.
What you're waiting for?
Waiting to get served. He walked in the bank and he walked up to the teller thing and he was just waiting to get served. But, you know, I don't think he was there for, he wasn't. All right, you know what? Actually, I'm going to pause this video right here real quick. Just give me one quick second. Okay.
What he do? Slide him a note?
Oh, snap. I have my mic muted. But here we have the note. You see this?
Yeah. Can you make it bigger by any chance?
Let me see.
I see that this is a robbery.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. There we go, full screen. Let me see if that is that bigger.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I passed
yep,
him a note. Reached
passed
in
him a
there.
note. Yeah, I stepped away while the video was playing, so I'm gonna rewind it again. A few seconds and go. They show where he dropped his backpack, and then this is where you started watching him with the hat and stuff. And there's his coat. Let me go back to here.
I mean, there was nothing spectacular about it.
Nothing spectacular at all. But I mean, I have to say though, I was surprised, very surprised that he did that.
Don't they got a
So
button or something?
yeah, I think so. I think the lady probably pressed it as she walked away. See her walking away right there? The lady walked away right there.
But I don't know how she would know.
Cause look, I'm gonna rewind it. I watched this video like about 20 times. All right, now you see how the lady is looking? See?
Yeah.
Takes a sip. See? Look. She looks up, looks, takes a sip, smacks her lips, licks her lips, reaches for something, looks down, fidgets, reaches, looks
Uh,
over,
it looks like she touched something on the wall there.
and then she went, yeah, and then she left.
They might even have like a code word or something that they say in the middle of that.
Yeah, there might be something she hit on the computer or something, even still. You see that? But no, she noticed what was happening and she took off. I'll rewind it again. See, she's looking him up and down, looks over. He's like, takes a sip, sets it down, looks over. She's looking, licks her lips. She reaches. See her hands? She knows what's up because she ain't there for another 5 seconds and she's up. So he leans over, grabs some more. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what would make him do that, man.
And he was so in there for a long time. Did he think there was no cameras in banks?
Nah, he knows there's cameras in banks. He knows that. He knew that.
I mean, he sure wasn't trying to get in and get out.
No, and look, he's walking away, counting money, walking across the lawn. He knows that he knows they got cameras and stuff. Hold up, give me 1 second. I'm gonna let the video play though. All right, so I'm back. It's just playing again. So yeah, he definitely he definitely did that. But you know, initially I had made this Google slideshow, and a lot of the same principles I still stand on it because I really feel like they didn't have to do they didn't have to they didn't have to do all that. They didn't have to use that much force because he didn't have a gun. He didn't use a gun in the robbery.
What they do? So did they just pull up on him while he was walking, or what?
He made it all the way home. So this is where I had originally started off. This is me and him. I had a nonprofit. Coroner's report. I got a link to it. I also have it up here, so I could go up there. But it's basically this is the basics. The robbery happened. You know, we seen it on the camera. He made it all the way back home. So at 11:22, he got shot, and then he got pronounced at 11:55. So they worked on him for about like, because it took 10 minutes to get there. They worked on him for like 20 minutes, and I don't know, man, but just the amount of just different stuff, and there was so many different headlines. I don't know if well, you just said that you were following like, you know, national news and stuff, so you missed some of the local news, but the local newspapers, the Joliet Herald and the Patch, they had covered it a little bit, and ABC7 had covered it a little bit, and the initial reports were that it was a shootout. It was a shootout between a robber and the police, and the only shots that were fired were from the police.
Uh-huh. Sounds about right.
You know. And I mean, it was real wild. It's still, you know, the story's still out there and stuff. But there's this live Facebook video. You know, I should go to that. I should show that. You know what? Wait, hold on. Maybe not quite like that. Hold on. I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second. And now my camera's on me. So hold on. I'm just gonna. That's really loud. Holy crap. Okay. I hate when those videos just start playing automatically by themselves.
Uh-huh.
That's that crap. Alright,
You want to have control over everything.
I'm saying, man, I just don't want it to start playing at the wrong doggone time. I was gonna go to Facebook and I was gonna show you, yeah, the Joliet News on Facebook. Oh, now my son's crying. Trying to find this video. Let's see. Post videos. Okay, yep, they still got it up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen. Alright, you see that?
Is that the Joliet Herald website?
No, this is
Their Facebook page?
the Joliet News. This is a little spinoff of the you know, the local news. It's not the Herald and it's not the Patch, but this guy right here, Robert Hernandez. I used to see Bob Hernandez credits on the Patch picture, so I don't know if that's the same one, but here's this video. So he updated it 4,000 times.
So you knew Bruce Carter.
Hmm?
So you knew Bruce Carter?
Did I know him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew him.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, hold on. I thought I was sharing this with you.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
But it's not showing much. I mean,
Yeah, so I'll just bring it up. Basically, this guy is just, you know, right off the bat, you know, he's got all this information and stuff. So where he get this information from? He was saying it was a shootout. It's all taped off. So there's that guy, and then coroner report. Coroner report's kind of crazy though. Like you see all these empty spaces. They didn't try to really fill out nothing due to the owner. Like what happened to him, like all that stuff. But then you get to this part. This is where I found there was some kind of issue. There's some discrepancy. On here it says, he came outside and, he was shot. But in other reports from the police, it said the police were inside and, and then he got shot. So that's pretty doggone different if you ask me. There's some other crazy things about this. Oh, my son's crying again. I think he's just getting sleepy. It's almost bedtime. But let's see. So he didn't even, the doctor who did the autopsy didn't even really, he requested that no special testing to determine the cause and manner of death. So they didn't even really try, too much to figure out which shot, or what I'm saying, Bruce Carter got shot 4 times. The officer fired 5 times, 1 missed, and it went into the wall. So he was just in there shooting. There was other people in the building, in the house. So they just wanted the toxicology report to come back quick, fast, and in a hurry. I don't know. I just think that, the conclusions, the toxicology result was irrelevant.
well, I mean, they always want to do one of those to justify killing someone somehow. Because if there's something in your system, that means that you should get killed.
That's just the craziest thing. If you want to look at something, evidence of injury, for each one of the wounds, there was no evidence of close range firing. So there's no stippling, there's no evidence of close range firing on any of his wounds. So the officer was scared from far away. And these bullets, they tore him up. So basically, and then here's the toxicology. Yep, he had THC, cannabinoids. And they pointed out the blood alcohol concentration. You know what? He's a grown man, but I don't. He might have had like maybe a sip of a beer or something. I don't really think that is neither here nor there. But
That's below the drunk amount or the driving amount anyway. So
well below the driving amount. What I think happened is, having known him, I was his friend. He had some medical conditions, and I think that maybe the way his body broke down, just things in general might have given him a higher than average blood alcohol concentration. Because that is a possibility also. Some people don't have it's not zero.
yeah.
They're like at 0.01 already. So that was, looking at that. And boy, they really on there. They really want to know.
And that's one of the things though that frustrates me about any time there's a shooting like that. They always and then maybe toxicology reports are done whenever there's a autopsy, but they end up using that as some sort of rationale as to why somebody had to get shot instead of just taking them in like they're supposed to and letting the system, which is far from perfect, address it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the very least, you could let the system address it,
Yep.
But
And
it's
that's
like
what. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's like they say, if the only tool you have is a hammer, then everything looks like a nail.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
pretty much what happened here. They're just trying to make something seem like, I mean, he did do it though. I mean, we watched that video and he did it. I'm not quite sure the socioeconomic reasons or reasoning behind it, or whatever have you, but he was an alright dude. Um, he was the only person that showed up to volunteer that day, him and my cousin, and we got the project done on time. Um, I wish I would have. I don't know. I don't know how. I wish I would have been able to maybe talk him out of it or something, but that's neither here nor there now.
yeah,
But yep. So the crazy part, there's just so many questions really about the way that they handled that though. So we're just waiting. We're gonna see some stuff. But what's on your agenda? Oh hey, by the way, side note, I just got a what's that thing? A t-shirt press. So now I'm legit. I got like the t-shirt press stuff. So
when I need some stuff pressed up, I'm gonna come holler at you.
yeah, come holler at me. Come holler at me, man. Let's see.
My agenda, not much. I mean, I just try to stay in touch with the political climate and see what's going on. And I think we're in some really interesting times right now, as far as like national and even not even national, but statewide politics goes. And I think we are at a place where we got to start making some hard decisions about the type of society that we want to live in. It's really that's really it. It's as simple as that. We got to make a decision. Do we want to be part of a society that cares for one another and tries to make it so that we're all at least living semi-productive and satisfactory and lives that we can at least enjoy or not be miserable in? Or do we want to be a type of society where 1% has all the money and everybody else is fighting over the scraps? And unfortunately, it's looking like the latter.
Yeah, I tell you, that's the truth. I mean, the 1%, they straight. 1% is straight. It's everybody else. Everybody else is pretty much screwed.
And
Um,
yeah, and I guess the frustrating part for me about it is, and I don't even know what the solution is, but I know the problem is capitalism, and it's working the way it's supposed to work. I mean, if you really think about it, this is what's supposed to happen. So, do we even have the fortitude to change economic systems? Is that even possible at this point?
hmm, that's a good question. Well, that's one of the things we would have to look to the future, and hope that our future leaders are able to make good decisions. Um, but then here, I'm gonna go to my Facebook page. I'm gonna share my. Oops, here, I'm gonna share. Where was I at? I was up here, right here.
Yeah,
You
Betsy
see
DeVos.
this? Yeah, every time they get a chance to, they're cutting back on education.
And not even just education, on everything, really. Anything that helps people is being cut.
Hmm.
Any and everything. And the people that are hurt the most by it are the ones that are allowing it to happen. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you can do about it when the people that is actually hurting are in favor of it. So I don't know. I'm hopeful, but you just never know.
No, no, no. I mean, there's okay. I had a story up here about a Georgia mayor doesn't want to hire any blacks because the city is not ready.
Yeah, I saw that one. Told the guy to stay home.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
come
the
on now.
that's the deep south. I don't know what else to tell you.
That's the story. I mean, I wish I could say something different about it, but that's what happened.
The deep south, like even when you look at the whole Alabama thing, was it Alabama or was it Oklahoma with Roy Moore?
Oh, that's Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama. So you mean to tell me that a pedophile dude that's already been kicked off the bench like twice, uh, just an all around terrible person, is that close to somebody that simply prosecuted some Klansmen back in the day?
Man,
That's Alabama. That was the drawback of the dude. He wasn't even really that liberal. Maybe liberal for Alabama,
it's
but the knock against him was he prosecuted Klansmen.
it's not even just the South. It's the attitudes of the people, pretty much everywhere. I'm gonna share my screen again. All right. So they had another blackface incident, but the kids are saying that it wasn't quite blackface. But we know what it is, and that's the stuff that goes on.
Yeah,
It's up here, it's down there.
I
Down
think
there they have overt racism kind of stuff. Like you
so.
walk into somewhere and they stop talking, and they just look around like are you lost? You know? But up here, they don't do quite that. It's a lot of code and a lot of code switching and stuff like that.
That's true.
So I mean, I
I think
don't
it, I think it is a difference, though. I don't think that you could get a Roy Moore up here running for office and being successful.
mm, let's see. When you say up here, what do you mean by up here?
I mean, in suburban Chicago
Okay.
and
Suburban
Chicago,
Chicago. Okay. All
Chicago.
right. Hold on. Because now I'm a little bit on the spot, but I still do got my Google.
I know they had that one dude that was the admitted white nationalist running in Chicago.
Hold on. I'm just looking up something. There was somebody who tried to. There was somebody who had ran for office. I believe it was Naperville, maybe 2016 or something like that. I wanna say.
You talking about the white nationalists running for Congress?
I'm not sure if they're running for Congress. Actually, what happened was and somebody was running and they were trying to call out the people on racism, and they actually did not make it. And I can't. I'm trying to find that. One city council members calling for resignation after she. Wait, hold on. Maybe she did make. Hold on. I might have got this story wrong. Okay. No, it's 2019. Hold on. Maybe this isn't the story. I got my stories mixed up. I wasn't planning on talking about politics right now, but okay. I mean I do know, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's see. Several frozen defense. Yeah, okay. It was not 2006. Something else happened back then, but I remember this story. I wanna I'm gonna share my screen on this one. Show you what I'm looking at. Okay.
Yeah, I think I do remember that story.
You remember this one?
I do remember that story.
Yeah. So the council members and public speakers in Naperville rose in defense of their hometown after somebody they described Naperville as a city with a history of white supremacist policies.
And they may. I remember a few years back when that story went viral about the dude talking about when he was younger trying to drive through Naperville
Uh-huh.
and about how he used to get pulled over every time. And the story went viral though. It went viral. It was huge. I think it made the national news. What I can say is, I could relate to that story that the fellow told about getting pulled over every time because we're about the same age, probably maybe 1 or 2 years apart, give or take. And I can definitely relate to that back then. I can't say they haven't bothered me in a long time.
Yeah.
It could be because my beard is grayer. I don't know.
All right. I was you know, going back and forth and then, you said that and stuff, man. I just hit my leg. Ow. I used to get pulled over all the time.
Yeah.
I used to get pulled over. Um, I got arrested one time for resisting arrest.
I got that too. I'm like, how do you get arrested for resisting arrest? That doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't even make sense. That's what, and I was just like, well, what's the original, like, what's the charge?
Yeah.
And they railroad you in, they call it court, to just take the plea or whatever, or just, plead guilty and get court supervision, and then you have
Yeah.
to pay like some kind of fine or something like that. And like that's the racket that they run.
Yeah, it's extortion.
Pretty much. I mean, I done been pulled over where they took my driver's license and they didn't give it back. You know what I'm saying? Like even after I went to court, I didn't get my driver's license back. You know, that
And
happened to you?
no, I definitely got mine back eventually once I
Mm-hmm.
finished the fines. But I mean, there was a lot of my 20s. I didn't have my driver's license on me. Let's just say it that way. I never had it. I would get it back and get pulled over the next week for nothing and take it again. So a lot of my 20s, I didn't even have it. As a matter of fact, what's the age when you have to get it renewed? 25?
It really depends. I think when you get it, you know what I'm saying. Like I think it goes every 4 years or something.
I think it was 25 when I had to do it. And I remember at the time I didn't actually have it on me because I had a bunch of tickets literally all over the state that, that I had to pay because I had told myself that I wasn't going to pay these BS tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to go get my license renewed, they said you can't do it till you get these tickets paid. I'm like, oh, fine. So now I have to.
Mm-hmm.
So my roommate literally drove me all across the state. We were down in Pontiac and Bloomington, and
That's what they get you, boy. They just be sitting there and just waiting.
mhm,
Go
I
through
was
there flying about 85.
in Kendall County, Kane County. So I paid off all these tickets, but I forgot I had got down there to Pontiac
Mm-hmm.
and I paid the ticket. They handed me back an ID from when I was like 19 or 20 years old. And I'm like, wow, I don't even look like this guy anymore. It
Like,
was
who
like,
is this guy?
yeah, it was like 19 or 20 years old. It was amazing.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But you see, you see some of the problem, like with the system, how they have it set up, and it seems to not really work for some folks. Um,
Yeah,
because I don't see how people are, it's like it's extortion. Like they cash bail really is extortion.
it is. It's prosecuting the poor.
Persecuting,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, like because you're not even found guilty of a crime, but yet they're demanding money, or else they're gonna lock you up.
And then if you don't have it, you just stay there.
Right,
And you also don't, if you don't have money for a $75 ticket or whatever, you probably don't have money for an attorney.
right. Because if you had that, you would have just paid the ticket.
Right. So it's
So people lose their whole lives behind that. It's crazy.
exactly. And I think people don't really understand exactly how we're policed actually affects lives. It's not just a nuisance. Like you're really setting people behind. Like think of all the tickets that you or I've had to pay that other people haven't had to pay. Like what
Mm-hmm.
can that be? That could be a few $1,000s at this point. What's that? A down payment on a car?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, or just for some folks, just keeping your bills on and stuff.
Yeah. But I was thinking more over just the span of a lifetime or your 20s or whatnot. Just what could that money in cumulative have gone to? I mean, obviously it's taking food off your plate or turning off your lights or whatnot. But just when you
Well,
accumulate that, what you know?
because if you don't have a vehicle, you know what I'm saying, you can't. It's really hard to get around. So therefore, you gotta either take public transportation or rely on rides and stuff like that, and that limits your working ability. But if you go to jail, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get fired, most likely. You
Yeah,
know, they're not gonna hold your job, and then you're gonna lose your apartment, you know, or wherever your house or whatever you had to make payments on and stuff. So you could get a ticket and end up going to jail over a ticket, something that you really shouldn't. I
and
don't know.
turn your
Yeah,
whole life upside down.
yeah, over a ticket.
Yeah,
So
and I don't
that's
think the mainstream just really understands how devastating that can be to just your everyday run of the mill person. And you don't even have to be a criminal, you know?
you know what though. Here's the flip side of that. It's devastating to the criminal justice system when they're not able to fund their appellate court system, such as they were having the problems up there in, like, I think it was Detroit, Michigan, or something. Like, they 75% of their budget, it comes from court fees and tickets, and so with the population problems and all the other stuff, they haven't been able to fill their normal budget, so they were having a huge problem. And that's directly related to cash bail. Relying on cash bail to fund people's salaries is just wrong.
Yeah, whenever somebody stands to gain off of that, it's problematic. To me, I look at that the same way I look at health insurance. I think health insurance is probably one of the worst ideas ever.
Hmm.
And the reason for that is when you're talking about somebody's health, their life, their actual life, and somebody gains off of not giving you treatment. Like I couldn't think of a more immoral system. I couldn't even come up with one that's worse.
Because where's the incentive to get them well? Where's the incentive to actually rehabilitate offenders?
Exactly.
If they're making money off of that, I see
Exactly.
the issues, and I'm really glad that some state, like I think Minnesota, and I think they're looking at it in Michigan or something like that. They're gonna get rid of cash bail, so it's picking up momentum, but we need to get it in more states.
And even all that is just addressing symptoms. The real, and I spend a lot of time thinking about it.
Hmm.
The real problem that we have is economic, flat out. It
Agreed.
all starts with poverty.
Agreed.
You pull people out of poverty, and then a lot of these issues are going to go away. But you pull people out of poverty, that 1% has to share some more money. So there is no incentive for them to make the schools better. There is no incentive for them to fix up and help rehabilitate neighborhoods, rehabilitate people that have been in prison so they can become actual productive parts of society. Because you need people that are going to work for cheap. You need that poverty. You need you need that to fund and work and do all the stuff so that the top 1% and whomever can get their money.
That's because they have all these systems that are built on profiting off the misery of others. Actually, what you said, it kind of almost made me sad. I mean, it did, but I'm good. But there is, there's unlimited human potential. You don't know what the limitations of people are if you just maybe help them
Exactly.
bring them, not
Exactly.
bring them out, not you physically bring them out of poverty, but you make it possible for them to actually be educated and stuff. They could
Exactly.
be very productive and stuff. But if you have all these systems that are profiting off of, you got for-profit prisons, you've got the healthcare industry, health insurance and stuff like how it is in this country. Actually, right now, there's a caravan of Americans going to crossing the border for, Canada to try to get healthcare and stuff
I've
like that.
seen, I've
But
seen
you,
people go to Cuba for healthcare.
yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, all right, okay, though. Like, that's just wild. I'm like,
Yeah, it's hard.
meanwhile, I don't have health insurance myself. So I'm like,
I mean, but I do, but I don't even really use it. It's expensive.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's why I don't have it right now. It's expensive. Like, I'm like,
Even to
okay.
have it is expensive, and I mean I've used it when I've had to, but that's sick care. That's not even health care, you know. And it should be a health care. A lot of these problems that we have could be prevented if we actually had health care, but we
Hmm.
don't. We have sick care and we have insurance that
Or how about if we didn't have all of these companies polluting the air with pollution and all kinds of crazy stuff? Like I talked about stereogenics and what's that? Medline. Medline. They were pumping. What was it? Some, I mean, I did a story about it, man. It was on my it's on my YouTube. Let me go to it right here, real quick.
I think it all goes together back to the bottom line, which is the
Hmm.
dollar, you know?
Yeah, what it really comes down to is just money. It's just money. Yeah, ethylene oxide. Ethylene oxide. So they pumped like 255,000 pounds of ethylene oxide into the air, and it was not properly filtered or something, I believe.
I can see that.
Yeah, and this company Medline, they made Sterigenics like the poster boy for the lawsuit. But Medline, if you've been to a hospital like in this area lately, usually their toiletries are made by Medline. I'm pretty sure that's that company. So they're still they're still out here doing all that stuff.
And that's
But
a big contract if they're supplying the hospitals.
they're supplying the hospitals with toiletries. So do you really think they have any vested interest in how many people get sick from from their company's chemicals? No, the more sick people, the more stuff they have to sell.
Yeah, the more they make. So
Isn't that disgusting?
all the stuff is working together. That's why I said it's working as designed. Like the capitalism part of it, it's the
Hmm.
way it's supposed to be. This is this is how it was always envisioned to be. You maximize the profits by raising the prices, uh, paying your workers as little as possible, having as few workers as possible. That's how you maximize your profits.
Hmm.
Eventually, it's going to be one person collecting all the money at the top, one person doing all the work at the bottom for one
Hey,
company.
hey,
You see right
where's the
now,
last place you see me at, man? Where's the last place you see me working at, man? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I know.
you see all the mergers happening, right? All the huge companies getting bought out by each other.
Hmm.
Eventually, it's going to be one company like Pepsi or something. You're going to get your shoes, your drink, your table, all from Pepsi.
You said you're gonna get your shoes from Pepsi. You know what? I don't doubt it. I wanna get the blue joints though. I wanna get the blue joints. Let me get them blue Pepsis.
No, for real though.
Size 9, bro.
Who is it that's buying everything? Disney. Right now, Disney is buying everything.
So here you go. Here you have it. Illusion of choice. These are a lot of the major companies, and they own all these other little
Yes,
companies. It makes it
exactly.
seem like you have some kind of choice, but
Especially these companies that are on the outside of that ring are going to start buying each other.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
then you're going to end up with one company, Pepsi Cable. You know what I'm saying?
right. Pepsi Cable. That's how you get Pepsi Cable and Pepsi Shoes and Pepsi Phone.
I was talking to a guy, he's a conservative, really disappointing guy. But what he was trying to say that for the future, you're going to want to have a skill because these jobs are not going to be whatever, whatever. He was thinking that he's going to be able to have contracts with companies to do whatever work he's thinking about doing and to sell his skill, I guess, to the public. And I was trying to tell him that if these jobs go away, there's going to be no public for you to sell your skill to. He didn't quite
Hey,
grasp it, but he thought he was setting himself up for the future. There
uh,
is no future if there's no public, if we're all fighting over these crumbs.
hey, man, look over here in Waukegan. They had this
Yeah,
chemical explosion.
yeah, I was going to say that's that explosion.
Yeah, that's that explosion. And then here's a little bit of humor. So, I mean, yeah, we're complaining about America, but you could be over in India and be standing outside, you know, uh, taking your garbage out and doggone. They said that's a
Get attacked by a leopard.
yeah. You see the caption? It says tiger on the loose, but that is clearly a leopard.
I mean, who's really stopping to check to be sure?
Right? Who stopped the check? I'm like,
Hey,
excuse
you
me.
you see how he's making different people out like he was Tenchu Ninja though?
Right? Oh man, Joe. Joe, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they have hospitals too much over there either. So I don't think I'll be over there.
Did you ever catch that what you call it documentary? Remember that guy that made the Super Size Me documentary
The
where he ate McDonald's for like 30 days, like
Super
every
Size Me?
yeah.
Yeah, by Michael Moore?
Was it
No.
Michael Moore? No, it
No,
was
no,
no,
him.
different dude,
No,
different dude,
hell no. No, that was somebody else. Yes, but I
different
do
dude.
remember Super Size Me. Go ahead.
So he had a whole series of documentaries on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
and one was about the moving the jobs from here to India. So he had caught up with a guy that lost his job, and they sent him back over to India to get it.
Whoa.
So he went on the interviews or whatever. So, but it was more kind of just talking about uh, the economy in India, the social network in India. But what they were saying was that I think it was like they could pay three people to do that same, or three people for his one salary here. So they were just moving the jobs over to India. That's why they were outsourcing.
Wow, that sounds like that should be illegal or something. I mean, if you're gonna be like an American-based company and you start out in America, I don't know, there should be some kind of penalty, not illegal, but you know what I mean?
I think it should be because they also showed how the people that took the jobs were living, and
Mm-hmm.
it was unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. I'm talking about those, you see on TV the people in those tin shacks.
Yeah.
Yes, the same
Oh.
people that took this guy's job were living
Uh-huh.
in those tin shacks. Wake up in the morning, go do the job that he was doing, and then go back to squalor. It was terrible.
Mm,
Absolutely terrible.
wow. And
I
just
wish I remember the dude's name because it may still even be on Netflix.
that's crazy. I'm trying to find the saved article that I had. It had about 4,000 companies that profit off of prison labor.
Shoot, all of them.
I mean, how many 4,000 US companies that profit off of prison labor? How many more are really left? Major companies.
I mean,
Oh
that's
wait.
you got to think about resources that's not going to run out. And as long as you keep people in poverty and criminalize certain ethnicities, that's a renewable resource. That's like natural gas, like solar
Hmm.
power.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I agree. I agree. Yep. They over here killing us, man. We gotta be careful not to you know, mess around and kill ourselves, in the process. Like
I agree.
we gotta make better decisions and stuff.
And I don't even know. That's what I was saying. Like I spend a lot of time thinking about that, and I don't know a solution. I just don't know a solution.
There's such a complicated solution, I think. There's so many different issues like socio-economical, you know, just a lot of issues. I mean, there's so many people they have bias against people of color, but they're in positions of, power and
Yeah,
or authority, and it's really a shame. And even some of these are, people of color.
they are.
They're biased against other people of color.
They
Like,
are, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like when it's one of those police shootings and it's a black cop that did it. Like we're not saying that it's only white cops that'll do it.
hmm
It's the culture of policing, regardless of your color.
man, they got stuff called like Taser Tuesdays and all kinds of super whack stuff.
But did you
It's,
see that one cop got I think indicted, was it, up there in Minnesota?
oh, I think they gave him like 25 years, bro.
The black cop.
Oh yeah, they was gonna send that brother up. He
Yeah,
shot a white lady too.
yeah, it's a wrap for you, buddy. He might as well have locked himself up and signed
Ooh,
the admission.
man. Yo,
He wouldn't get away with that.
he's not gonna. No, not at all. Far. And if I'm not, was that the one where he was on tape where he was saying like, "Oh man, I messed up." Is that
No,
what?
I didn't see it, but probably. I mean, he had to know. He lived in the same country we do.
Like,
He didn't
oh
want to get away
man.
with that. He thought it was cool. If it was one of us, he'd have been straight.
Right, he probably got a slap on the wrist or something, two to
Yeah,
3 years or something. He'd be out in like 18 months. You know what
but
I'm
no,
saying?
he
Like,
messed around and got the wrong person. And not that
exactly.
anybody should be killed by police at all. I don't think that's funny at all.
No, it's not funny. And people always say black on black crime. Well, I want to say something about white on white crime because that's like just some of the craziest stuff out there, man. Like, um, I don't know how the Catholic Church is still like open. If the Catholic Church was any other organization, they would have been they would have been shut down.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're so quick, fast, and in a hurry. They'd have been like, oh, no,
And
y'all
what I
didn't
noticed
to them little
about
white boys. Y'all didn't went to them little white boys.
True, you know what?
Shut
They
down.
are getting away with certain crimes with their victims being a certain demographic that typically won't allow themselves to be victimized.
And I don't know how it keeps on like it's not just they did it to like hit the like they had the nuns that were being kept as slaves
Yeah,
like
they sure did.
you
But
know
I'll be I'll be honest. I mean, I talk about religion a lot on my page, and I also talk. Well, I don't talk about it, but I eventually will. So I'm a big sports fan, and I tell people all the time the NCAA is the second biggest pimp in the world.
mhm
Second biggest. The church they wield so much power that they're not willing to give up. It's hard to even combat them to the point where they're literally getting away with raping kids.
yep not just kids like it's the kids and the the man
I don't when it's an adult, I look at it different. They 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 can get out there and say something if they're being taken advantage of.
man I don't know I think the nurse or I keep wanting to call them nurses the nuns somebody should say something for the nuns because they might be afraid to speak up at first and then I think it might take off from there but if they
Someone's
don't know that they have allies or somewhere to go what are they going to do tell on everybody and then go right back to the to the same place like no they got all those how many $1 billion how many billion
I don't think anybody knows how much money the church got.
man, they was talking about it when Notre Dame that when it burned down and stuff.
Yeah,
But
all those donations they got to rebuild it, they
yeah,
could have. They probably
they
could
didn't
have.
need
They probably had that money in their back pocket.
right. And I don't know. I don't remember any stories of them like going to donate it to somewhere else. I did you hear any stories of that?
I don't know. I
Mm-mm.
mean, you don't you don't get that rich by giving money away. Flat out.
That's true. That's true. But I I wanna I'm gonna direct your attention to this one, and I'm just gonna like how do you do that? How do people be up there in the church all the time and you know you treat people like garbage at the same time,
I don't know. That's a whole different episode that we could talk about right there.
right?
'Cause
And then here's another episode right here.
I got
I
plenty for that.
I know Farrakhan probably would not, go to bat for me because I'm in the situation that I'm in. But I think that he should be able to have his Facebook page because there's all these other people that are saying all this other crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he should be able to say what he wants to say, you know.
Um,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't agree with them taking away his page because Farrakhan is reacting to things that happen to him and people like him. And I think that's different, even though I think he is misguided in some of his statements. I do view that as different from inciting hatred and violence or being the initiator. But I do disagree with some of the rhetoric that he uses. A lot of times he'll speak in general terms that I just can't agree with.
Yeah.
And not even just him. This is with everybody. I need people to be specific. And I do my best not to generalize when I don't think that it actually applies generally.
Yeah. Well, generally speaking, that's probably a good rule of thumb to go by. I don't know, man. That's what I started off with. I'm like, I know Minister Farrakhan probably would not go to bat for me because of the situation that I'm in right now, but I would go to bat for him, saying that he should have his Facebook page because he should be allowed to say all the the stuff that he wants to say. I don't agree with it, but if they're over there saying all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, then he should be able to say what he wants to say too.
And to
It's
me, he
fair.
says a lot of truth too. I don't even want to make it seem like I disagree with everything he says either. He says a lot of truth,
That's
and
true.
and I think what they did with that was so they didn't look like they were just throwing off white supremacists. They had to throw him in on top as well.
Yeah, they threw him under the bus. Boy, I wonder if he even packed his bags first. They threw him under the
Because when you look at the other people that got thrown off and him, they're not the same.
No,
They're
not
just
at all. Like, well, where did that come from? Like,
I mean, they are considered a
right
hate group,
wing.
a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center, which I don't think is correct because to me, hate groups
Kill
commit
people.
crimes, right? And you just can't find something that they've done. Maybe other than Malcolm X, you just can't find something that they've done like that.
I
So
think that the reason that they had to band together so much was because to fight the hate against, you know what I'm saying? They were just fighting against the hate, and the people were fighting against the hate, and then you know what I'm saying? People got beat up, or I don't know, people got their feelings hurt or something. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But like, I see the need of the reason why they got together. It's like pretty much the reason why, like, when you have like, okay, let's just say take for instance Joliet, the Joliet Police Department. Back in the 80s, they put together the Black Joliet Police Officers Association to try to combat some of the mm, racial inequality. Like some of the there was some stuff going on, and they were trying to band together. But usually, that's how you that's how they have to do stuff because of how what happens. Like it'll be the people in power, and the people in power usually end up being not black, but probably white. And then like the black people and the Hispanic people have to come together to try to make things fair.
yeah, I mean we have to, we should try to. I don't think we are doing a good job of it, to be honest. I
No, not at all. But that's why they got the Black Joliet, the Black Joliet Police Officers Association. That's why they had it at first. But now it's since been disbanded because they just been going after them one by one. Lionel Allen, Dave Jackson, like some other, like just one by one, just picking them off and stuff.
yeah.
And those are the latest ones. But even back in the 80s, the dude who started it they decided to not want to give him his medical benefits or something like that. Like he had put in his time and stuff, and then because he was one of the people who started the Black Joliet Police Officers Association, they didn't want to give him his benefits, and so he filed a lawsuit.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm not shocked by anything they do. Nothing, not a single thing at all. Never, nah, not shocked.
Crazy, 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 man. I don't even know. I don't even know, man. So, wow, wow. We talked about so many different things, man. So many.
Yeah, it's the way to go.
Yeah,
You know, it's all connected.
it's awesome. I'm looking at my Facebook page. So let me know when you gotta go or something. But just looking at this thing right here, man. Did you get stuck with a whole bunch of student loans after high school? Let me ask you.
Um, I had a decent amount. I'm a few years from getting it all paid off, but it was rough, especially at the beginning because I didn't get I did get a decent job coming out, but I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready to be back in the Monday through Friday lifestyle. I wasn't used to that life, and it was hard to readjust. So I went back to I was like waiting tables and doing retail for a long while. But I finally got into the corporate world and able to stabilize everything. But it was rough for a little bit. It was real rough.
Yeah, yeah. That's what a lot of people are finding out and stuff. The whole student loan thing.
Yeah, I don't know if like I don't know if I would even tell my daughter to go, to be honest with you at this point.
I was just having that conversation with mine. She's not even 12 yet. She's almost 12. But, it's time to start trying to maybe think about some things.
See, mine's 16. We got to start now. Actually, we probably late,
No,
but
you're never too late, man. You gotta figure out what you like, man, what you want to do. But just rushing into something and you know in this I guess society or culture, once you pick something, I guess you're supposed to like stick with it or something like that, even if it doesn't quite fit, and then you just kind of get stuck in something. So
it's
I
rough.
really, yeah, it's rough. I wouldn't want to do that to advocate that to my kid, and that's what I was starting to tell her about. She's either gonna have to keep her grades, completely A1, and then, try to hope for some scholarships, work on that, and scholarships and grants and stuff, and try to cut down on the loans because, as you see here, 3 million senior citizens are still paying off their student loans.
Yeah, she's not gonna get any grants. I make too much, but that it's not a lot. Believe me, I make too much for whatever their little things are, but it's not a lot. It's not like I could just up and pay for somebody's college.
Right. It's crazy how they have education out here. Like, I don't know, other countries have university and colleges figured out,
Yeah,
people afford it and people are able to get good educations and make
but
better decisions.
that wouldn't work in our system because if everybody was given an opportunity to reach their potential, then you have less people willing to do the $5 an hour jobs. Or I
Well,
guess
that's why the $5 an hour jobs need
five.
to go to robots, and then we need to make get people up to, I don't want to say our people, like I'm talking like, just
Yeah,
black people. I'm talking about we need to make people able to work on those robots and automation and things like that so that they can keep up with the demands of whatever industry is popping. So
no, they want the coal mines to be open. They're not trying to move industry forward. They're still trying to go into the coal mines. What are you talking about?
That's so crazy. Like you want the coal mines to open it. Well, I guess somebody's gonna have to build a time machine or something. Cause like how?
That's what they said. Remember, they didn't want to vote for Hillary because she said that we're gonna give them training to do the new jobs coming in, and they said, "No, we want the coal mines."
Like I don't know, man. Like I feel bad for Hillary because like it wasn't nothing really she could probably say to people that they weren't going to like. She could even be like, listen, if I win, I'll give everybody like $10,000. You know, like people will still be mad about that. I
Yeah,
bet you.
Hillary was the victim of a 30-year smear. And not to say that I think she was completely innocent. I think there is something sketchy about her destroying those servers. But again, compared to this other dude, come on. Like it's not even a choice. It's not even a option.
I think so many people were probably disenfranchised by hold on, sweetie. You wanna say hi?
Did you tell her that I knew you when you were her age?
Hmm?
Did you tell her I
Oh,
knew you when you were her age?
this is the other one. This is the first time over here. She didn't get to see you before. This
Uh,
is the school. And he knew me when I was living in age. Say hi.
Hi.
There you go. Say hi.
Uh-huh. That's the future.
Yep, that's the future right there. Right there. That's the future. Okay, go over there with over there. And close the door. You can wait for out. Okay, I'll be. You know, over here. Okay, I'm gonna have to wrap this up because
Yeah,
this is
that's fine. I'm about to go to sleep too. I've been up since like 4. So
wow, that's early, man.
yeah, I got that long drive in the morning.
Mm-hmm. It was. So yeah, I don't know, man. They just came over here and I'm totally like, I forgot now. But
You're
okay.
gonna have to teach me how to get this Google Hangouts thing going.
Oh man, it wasn't that hard. Let me actually I'll walk you through it. Hold.
I mean, it don't gotta be now. I know you're about to go handle your BI.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's so simple. I'll show you real quick, man. Check this out. I'm gonna go to you are 5 years old. You are. Yeah, when people are 5, they get shots. Did you get your shots when we went to the doctor? You did. You don't need any more shots.
My dad still has to hold me down to get shots.
So here we have this thing, and it should be able to just drop down, and then you go to events, right? Yeah, honey, it is so small. Okay, so here we have the events. Did you see how I got over there?
Nope.
I
Oh
went
yeah.
to here. I'll start over real quick. It's not that hard. Okay, so we click on the live streaming, go down to events right here,
Uh-huh.
and this is the one we're in right now. So I'm gonna show you how to do it. So did you see that? What I clicked on over there?
Create a new one.
The new live event here, right here.
Uh-huh.
New live event right there. It does. I know. Good job, dating. Yep, it sure does. Close. B E. You see that? Okay. Here, hold on. So then once we went over to that create new live event, you're gonna go over here to the quick. First, you're gonna fill out like your title and your description. You put your
Uh-huh.
tags in this box, and if you want it to be public or private or not, you know. And then you want to go over to. Do you need a tissue? Go get a tissue so you can play. No, don't suck the boogers back in your nose. Fuck in your nose. I just breathe it. Okay. You're so silly. Okay, so then you're gonna hit this one over here. So you do the quick one, and then you
Right.
would go to go live now, and then you're gonna get one of these boxes that pop up. It's gonna be a screen's gonna be kind of like this, and then so I wish you could actually see what is down here, but there's like a little links thing. You remember I asked you in the very beginning if
Uh-huh.
you see the links thing, there's a link thing that you can copy right there, and that's where I went and I sent it over to you and I sent it to your Facebook message, right?
YouTube creates the link or the Google?
I'm sorry, what?
The YouTube creates the link or the Google?
I think I'm not sure. I think Google creates the link because it's
Right.
streaming like, Google Hangouts and stuff. And I have a Google Hangouts login and stuff like that. So it goes and here actually, you know what, honey? Here. Is it right here? Uh-oh. And let's see. Can you get it? So then it was really easy though. And then after we finally got it, that part was easy. I was like, how did I do that? And then to do the split screen, it's got like all the little or the share my screen thing, it's got all the little controls on the left hand side. There's a panel.
Yeah, I think I got that.
Yeah.
Share, showcase, what showcase? Q&A, control room. Let's see what that does. All right. I'll probably just play with it and see what it do.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. What? It's only for grown-ups. Yeah, it's for grown-ups. Okay, I'll see you later, man.
All right, take it easy.
All right, you too. Okay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right. All right, take it easy.
Already subscribed.
Oh, thank you, man. Thanks. Hey,
You have a-
I'm gonna sub you too. Okay.
All right, for sure.
All right, for sure.
It's not little kids can't